The ocean course at Kiawah Island was conceived in difficulty. As it was being built as a last-minute replacement venue for the 1991 Ryder Cup matches, Hurricane Hugo ravaged the South Carolina coast, destroying bridge access to Kiawah Island and erasing everything architect Pete Dye had done to that point. Barely managing to get the course completed on time, Dye had to hire boats to ferry him and his crew to the site, where they rushed to reconstruct not just lost holes, but the land itself. Hardship is hardwired into the ocean course. So is scenery. Spanning 2.5 miles along the Atlantic Ocean, each 9 runs out and back between coastal dunes and inland marshes. Composed of sand, water, and thick seagrasses, trouble is omnipresent. So is the wind, which blows intensely and unpredictably from day to day. A fixture on Golf Digest's ranking of America's 100 greatest courses and host of the 2012 and 21 PGA Championships, the ocean course is an American original, blending seaside links, low-country character, and Pete Dye's strategic genius. This is every hole at the ocean course at Kiawah Island. The par 4 first functions like the opening credits of a film, setting the mood while introducing the course's general themes. One of those is a large waste area that spans the right side of the hole. Get comfortable with it. It's a feature that will recur throughout the round. The left side has been widened over the years, and the green is open on the left. Don't be afraid to take advantage of these expanded spaces on the drive and second shot. This is the only hole where Pete Dye allows you to play safe, twice. If the first scene at the ocean course is a calm opener, the par 5 second is an explosion. Nothing but marsh separates the tee from the angled fairway, and trouble lurks everywhere. The expansive short grass on the right beckons as safe harbor, but this is Dye giving you rope to hang yourself. Second shots from here are long and increasingly demanding, to a landing area constricted by oaks, a waste bunker, the marshes, and a canal bisecting the fairway. Better to take a more aggressive line off the tee to set up a short third shot to a green encircled by nasty bunkers and depressed chipping hollows. Pete Dye rarely built what would be considered drivable par 4s. It was said if he expected players to get home in one, he'd have called it a par 3. Nevertheless, the play at the par 4 third is to get as close to the small volcano green as possible in order to leave a short, controlled iron. Any shot that misses will roll all the way back down its steep banks. The solitary live oak in the fairway is a good target. This tree replaces the one that swallowed Rory McIlroy's ball in the third round of the 2012 PGA, which had since perished. The par 4 fourth presents the third consecutive drive across a marsh. A wetland breaks the fairway into 2 sections, and both professional and resort players have to figure out what club to hit to stay short of the cross hazard and to avoid 3 raised crater bunkers Dye added in the early 2000s. The green is open on the left and guarded by bunkers on the right. Bouncing shots that skirt the edge of the first bunker can ride the contours all the way back to right-hand hole locations, a useful option at this exposed corner of the course. After working out to the extreme eastern end of the property, the routing turns briefly south at the par 3 fifth, the only hole at the ocean course that doesn't run in an east-west direction. Playing across a field of sand to another low, hourglass-shaped green, tee shots must be hoisted all the way to the putting surface. Risky business in the ubiquitous crosswinds. Pin position intensifies the challenge. The hole gets longer and the green narrower, the farther left the flag is located. Though the visuals are often intimidating, there's ample room to drive the ball at the ocean course. A good tee shot at the par 4 sixth will hug the long waste bunker on the left to set up a straight look into the heart of the green, though playing from the right side isn't bad either. The first of 8 consecutive holes playing directly to the west, the sixth offers one of the best opportunities on the outward 9 to make a good score, as long as the ball is on grass after the second shot and not in sand or the densely vegetated dunes. The line between success and failure on a Pete Dye golf course is typically so sharp you could shave with it. The pro line at the par 5 seventh is directly over the bunker on the right. Clear it and reaching the green in 2 is a possibility. Come up a foot short or lose drives to the right, and a penalty is assured. Resort players can swing wide around the bunker, though that leaves 2 or possibly 3 more long shots to be threaded down the center of the hole. A moat of sand encircles half the green, and overly optimistic gambles to left-hand flags can easily cross the line and tumble off into the pit where bogey awaits. Some greens here sit low while others are perched high. The 8th falls into the latter category and plays like an island, requiring the archer's arrow to fly straight and cut through the wind. Front targets are accessible, and a central ridge helps tee shots release to rear hole locations. But anything hit over the green results in shots played off the tight lies of a waste bunker back up to a semi-blind green, a reminder that long is rarely a good miss at the ocean course. Good luck finding a level lie at the big par 4 ninth. The fairway, bending gradually left and flanked by the marsh and yet another waste bunker, burbles and agitates as if imported from the old country. The uneven stances make it easy to hook and flare second shots toward a green that's surrounded by predicament, including deep hollows on the right and rear, and pot bunkers and sand on the left. Recoveries must be undertaken with expert precision onto a green with the most pronounced internal movements on the course. The Kiawah setting reminded Pete Dye of Ireland's Portmarnock, another course hemmed in by ocean and tidal marshes. The Irish lynx-like genetics of the ocean course, though man-made, come alive on the second nine, beginning with 4 holes that run straight out through a sea of choppy dunes. Drives at the par 4 10th need to challenge the steep-faced waste area on the right. If they don't, second shots will have to be played over and across another sand wash to a shallow green that's oriented to receive shots from the opposite direction. The tee shot at the par 5 11th replicates the drive on 10, demanding players attack the edge of a sunken waste bunker on the right or be forced out of position to the fat side of the fairway. An excessively cautious play forces the next shot back across a nest of crater bunkers toward the lagoon, leaving another poor angle into an elevated green. Amid all the more obvious hazards, these recessed chipping areas are the ocean course's secret defenses, bleeding away strokes one at a time as players try to magic touchy shots back up to greens from awkward lies. The churning wind and mutable nature of the sand once led Pete Dye to say, "This course walks, you just have to walk with it." Standing on the tees at 12 in the rugged panorama of dunes and nature, the feeling is palpable. The fairway is one of the widest on the course, but bunkers and a lagoon squeeze it in as it nears the green. The water hugs the putting surface on the right, demanding nerve and execution on the approach. There's no shame here in throttling back, coming up short, and taking your chances for par from the front of the green. With tee set on the opposite side of the canal and water running the entire length of the hole, 13 is a high handicap nightmare. Scratch golfers don't much care for it either. The diagonal tee shot offers a choice of lines, but once again timidity is punished as drives played too conservatively can travel through the fairway into traps or the gnarly dunes. Hedging to the safe side of the hole means that long second shots will have to be fired back in the direction of the canal. It's a Faustian bargain: pay early or pay more later. During an early visit to the property, Alice Dye wondered why it was called the ocean course when you couldn't see the ocean. That motivated Pete to excavate a series of ponds using the material to raise portions of 12 different holes above the level of the dunes. One result was the par 3 14th green that, like the 8th hole, is elevated dramatically above sand and low chipping swales and offers at last the vistas that Alice found missing. Though at the mercy of the wind, the putting surface is one of the largest on the course, and it feeds shots toward the back left. Whatever the wind was doing to you before, it will now be doing the opposite as we head back toward the east. There's plenty of room out to the left at 15, but drives that hew to the right along the dunes have a less obstructed path to the green. The strategy suggests a left-to-right shot off the tee, followed by a right-to-left shot around the waste bunker waiting short and to the left. Ground contours will assist a low running shot, and even missing short or to the right leaves relatively simple chips onto the exposed putting surface. The par 5 16th is a bigger version of 15, but with more dire consequences for mistakes. The ideal drive is up the right, allowing big hitters the chance to shape a right-to-left shot into the axis of the green if the hole is downwind. The defining feature is the pernicious 8-foot-deep, 65-yard-long Sahara bunker short and left of the green, waiting to engulf second and third shots. A certain graveyard for bogey golfers. Dating to the earliest links courses, extraordinary holes are often defined by extraordinary hazards. The ocean course's 16th fits in this tradition. Dye had previously built par 3s similar to the 17th, but never in a setting like this. From tees up in the dunes next to the Atlantic, the hole plays across an excavated lake to a green that runs away on a deep angle. There's no quarter for shots that come up even an inch short, and the rear bunkers, leaving recovery sloping back toward the water, aren't much easier. A hole of great infamy, the 17th is notorious for inflicting terror, but it also teases glory, presenting a chance to succeed where so many before have failed. The journey back to the clubhouse and around the ocean course culminates in one of the country's most spectacular finishing holes. 18 is a demanding par 4, a classic S-shaped hole that works left to right around a complex of recessed bunkers before curling back the opposite direction along the shore. The original green was located 25 yards left of its current location before Dye was eventually allowed to move it against the dunes where he'd always wanted it. There are years where the Atlantic Ocean crashes just yards from the putting surface, an invigorating reminder that at the ocean course, the elements always get the last word. A dazzling mixture of beauty, brains, and brawn, the ocean course is a physical and emotional voyage. Best of all, you can play it. And when you do, no matter what the numbers on the scorecard read, you'll know you'll have experienced one of the most visceral rounds the game of golf can offer.